In 2005, Judd Apatow and Universal Pictures released the film The 40-Year-Old Virgin, which follows Steve Carell's character Andy trying to lose his virginity at the seemingly shameful age of 40, assisted by his friends who feel sorry for him. Now, you may have seen this film, and you may have felt sorry for Andy too. But why? Is 40 that really old of an age to not have had sex? And is having sex and losing our virginity really that big of a deal? So today we're obviously going to talk about sex again. But this time I'm going to tackle a topic that's gone unnoticed for quite some time. The issue of virginity and what our obsession with it means for us, our friends, and our children. So by the end of this speech, I hope to convince you that virginity is a really harmful concept that truly we as a society have created. So what's the problem with virginity? So first of all, virginity has no set definition. Now, Oxford Dictionaries describes a virgin as a person who has never had sexual intercourse. But what defines sexual intercourse? In an article published by the International Women's Health Coalition by Lori Alderman in 2010, entitled 10 Myths About Sex and Virginity Debunked, she describes a conference at which about 50 people attended, and of those 50 people, none of them could really come up with a concrete definition of sexual intercourse and what losing your virginity means. They couldn't really agree what counted as sex. Now, also, virginity is a concept that equates the individual and their level of purity and morality to how many sexual encounters they had. And it seems that women's self-worth is inversely proportional to how many sexual encounters she has. The opposite seems true for men. Even in our language, we say that a woman's virginity is taken by a man. Now, with that said, this is particularly damaging to rape and sexual assault victims, whose virginity may be taken by someone that they didn't choose. This is particularly incredibly harmful and damaging psychologically and mentally. In addition to this, virginity is an extremely sexist concept that, as I said earlier, equates a woman's self-worth to her sexual encounters. We shame women for saying yes or no to sex. A woman who has lots of sex is called a slut or a whore, and a woman who doesn't have enough sex is considered a prude. You can't win. For men, a similar thing occurs. However, men are praised for their number of sexual conquests, and if a man doesn't have sex enough, he's considered a loser who has no game. It seems like we can't win. Now, in a study by the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships by Cornell University, research determined that students, women in particular, are less likely to want to be friends with a woman who's described as slutty or having many sexual partners. This hypothetical woman was described as less warm and less caring to partners. In a study done by P.K. Johansson in New Mexico State University, it was revealed that men are more likely to lie about the number of sexual partners they have because many of them believe that the number of sexual partners they've had is directly correlated to their success in life. Let's combine this also with the idea of virginity being really unclear to the LGBT community. These people may not engage in things that ever count as losing your virginity by many of our definitions. Also, people who are asexual, which, according to a 2004 study by Brock University in St. Catharines, Ontario, 1 in 100 people identify as asexual. These people have no interest in sex and may never lose their virginity. Is that such a weird concept to us? It makes these people feel very weird to live in a sex-crazed society. A big factor in determining virginity is the presence of a hymen. Now, according to the page Virginity Tests, written by Linda Wolf of Webster University, historically, women would have to present bloody sheets or mattresses as proof of their virginity. However, Dr. Wolf also mentions that not every woman is born with a hymen, and that the hymen can be damaged in many different non-sexual activities. Individuals who are assigned male at birth don't even have a hymen to prove this sexuality status. Let's build on this and say that race plays a huge role in virginity also, in which white women are often seen as innocent, submissive, good girls gone bad, while Black and Latina women are very frequently sexualized. In a 2013 study by Kayla Lewis of the University of South Carolina, she describes negative stereotypes of Latina women. They are perceived as being hot-blooded and flirtatious and passionate. These women are subjected to this racial stereotype that sexualizes them from a very young age. Let's combine all of this with the rampant lack of sexuality education in the United States. We're left with confused kids and teens who believe that very simple, non-sexual tasks are seen as dirty, such as using a tampon or seeing another person naked. Regardless of their actions, these people are often given social labels related to their purity, social skills, and sexual aptitude. Now, what can we do about this? What can we do to reduce the social pressure of losing your virginity? We can just stop using the term. It seems kind of difficult because it's so common, but if a friend or family member starts to question someone's virginity status, shut them down. If you need to talk about your own sexuality, consider using the term making your sexual debut. It has no affiliation to purity, and it reassigns the power of sexuality to the individual, rather than to their partner. Now, the individual can self-define their sexual debut. Nothing in this exchange is being given or taken. In addition to this, try to realize the gravity behind the words you use. When you associate sexual choices with negativity, try not to say slut, whore, or prude. Take the time also to learn about gender and sexual minorities who may not be interested in sexual activity or whose activities fall outside of the qualifier of losing your virginity. Try also to understand basic anatomy, what a hymen is, and how it's not a biological indicator or determiner of sexual activity or self-worth. Do not assume relationship or gender types, and that any of these stereotypes contribute to how much a person actually has sex. Try to promote opportunities for positive sexuality education, support legislations that extend education beyond just abstinence, and that provide students with honest information that's not tied to shamefulness in their activities. Now, as I mentioned, this may not be an easy task. The idea of virginity is so ingrained in our society and in our language. But these small changes can lead to huge differences. It's up to us to break these stereotypes and to educate our friends and families. So how will this knowledge actually benefit us? Changing our vocabulary and learning and teaching about these concepts gives us the power to change what virginity actually means in our society. It'll help both current and younger generations understand that sex is not inherently dirty or bad, and that having sex doesn't change who you are as a person. Changing our views reduces the embarrassment of discussing sexuality and allows individuals to make their own sexual choices. This also allows the opportunity to discuss safer sex, different relationship types, and to overall make us more cultured and understanding and accepting people. Try not to tolerate language from these people around you that's so negative and harmful, especially people whose opinions you value. Now let's conclude quickly. Virginity is a concept that we have created as a society. It's so harmful to rape and sexual assault victims, LGBT individuals, and people of color. It shames us for taking control of our own sexuality, and by changing our idea of what it means to be a virgin, we can lessen the stigma surrounding sex for ourselves and future generations. The power to change these ideas is in our hands, and with this knowledge, we can make a difference. Thank you.